which is a birth certificate, they fool you. So you don't realize that all this time you've been a slave and you did not know it. That's why the other day they had to mention about, there was a news heading saying about they're making the fourth Matrix and saying about, are we really in a 50-50 chance that we are in the real Matrix? Yeah, you damn right you are. Damn right. Because the elites, all right, the Dukes of Edom, who actually rule this world, all right, the Rothschilds and so forth, which is all Edomites, okay? You know, the top ruling class banking families, all right, which is all Edomites. I don't care if it's a Chinese or whatever. More than likely, it's a Edomite. You know,
that's right.
And it's after you're saying, brother, keep saying the Rothschild. There's another family called the Astors, man. I found that yesterday. Yeah. Look those up. The Astors. They're the first wealthiest family on this side, and the Rothschilds in their bloodline. But look up the word Astors. The Astors from A-S-T-O-R family. Right. So back in Jeremiah 51, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed.
Right.
Forsake her, and let us go, everyone, into his own country.
That's what's happening, man. You got people leaving America, leaving the so-called American dream, and going back to their homes. Because you know what? It was better off. They were better off there. Everything in America was an illusion. That's what they came out to find.
Smoking mirror.
It was a big illusion. Hence what the elders were talking about being a matrix. Everything is smoking and mirrors in America, man.
Hey, there's a lot of people, just to say this quick, a lot of people during this whole crisis, as soon as it happened, people left major cities, man. Mainly white folks that are rich, man. All right, which is Edomites, okay? Not white, you want to call them Christians or whatever, but Edomites, they left major cities, man, because they're doing work from home, basically. So they either went to North Dakota or whatever, you know, these other states, you know, to stretch their bucks, so to speak, man. Right? So New York is a dead zone, man. It's a no-go zone. It looks like fucking I Am Legend. It turned into I Am Legend overnight. All it needs is just some trees busting out the fucking floor, man. You know, and so a couple of lions roaming the streets.
The reality of the illusion.
We got the zombies already, so.
Yeah.
That's true.
These people's pineal gland is calcified.
God. Back in Jeremiah 51, ending off at 9. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up into the skies.
That's right. So that's going to be a great destruction for America, man. All right.
Okay, so this is going into the statue of what Nebuchadnezzar dreamed and Daniel interpreted. This is Daniel 2 and 24. Therefore Daniel went in unto Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. And the reason why he wanted to destroy the wise men of Babylon is because the wise men of Babylon couldn't interpret the dream. So he made a decree. He's like, yo, if you guys don't interpret the dream, I'm going to kill you guys. So it said he went...
He wouldn't tell them the dream.
Huh?
He wouldn't tell them the dream. Daniel had to tell them the dream and then interpret it.
Yeah. I was all set up.
It's all set up.
He went...
Khan, I was going to say that, Khan, I said that Daniel also had to tell them the dream because the king told them the dream and wanted them to break it down. He wanted to tell them the dream and break it down because he didn't trust them. Right? Because if they would have known the dream, then they would have broke it. They would have used their wisdom to break it down just to make the king happy, because they didn't want to die. So Daniel told them the dream, what it was, and then further down broke it down.
He went and said thus unto him, destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I'll show unto the king the interpretation. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said thus unto him, I have found a man of the captives of Judah that will make known unto the king the interpretation. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen an interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. But there is one power in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream, the visions of thy head upon the bed are these. Okay, let me just see if I can get to the point here. I'll jump down to 32. It says, this image head was of fine gold.
That's right. Fine gold. This is the image he saw in his dream. The statue, the head was of fine gold. Go ahead.
Alright. His breast his breast and his arms of silver.
So the fine gold represented Babylon at the time, the Babylonian Empire, which was Nebuchadnezzar's empire. The chest of silver is the Median Persian Empire. Go ahead.
His belly and his thighs with brass.
Right, and his belly and his thighs of brass. So you got the Greeks, the Greeks, and then you got the Roman Empire, divided it, and then according to the okay.
The image head of fine gold,
Yeah.
his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass,
Yeah.
his legs of iron.
That's right. So again, like I said, the head of gold was Babylon, right? The silver, the chest of silver was the Median Persian Empire. Then you got the brass there, which is the Greek Empire, right? And then the iron legs, talking about the Roman Empire, right?
They were iron, man.
It's
That's one of the
strong
worst
empire.
kingdoms that it came to combat or any, like, you know, they conquered hard.
Yes.
Worse than the Grecians, man. They conquered super hard.
The strongest
Like
metal.
when you even go and check, yeah, it's the strongest metal, but it's not precious metal,
That's
right?
correct.
It was a hardcore army that they had,
Yes.
and almost an invincible army. But it's because they learned, they took the ways of other kingdoms, and you know, and amalgamated.
I didn't get to that iron break,
Right.
I didn't finish it.
Because with the iron, the army was almost invincible, man. They took down during the Punic Wars when they had to deal with Carthaginians, man.
Which is Hannibal.
Yeah, they took down his father, and that's how they started getting better. But his son, you know, did that blood oath, and he still couldn't even take them down, even though he killed over 70,000.
Yeah, he
Right?
gave
His
them
army
troops.
killed over 70,000 Roman soldiers, man,
That's right.
in the amount of one day, right?
Alright, so verse 33, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay.
That's right. Speed part of iron, part of clay. Talking about a divided kingdom there, right? Because the Roman Empire, they had broken up into different kingdoms, because those different kingdoms built up Rome as well. Because they were fighting all those Punic wars that you were talking about and conquering those lands. And those lands were paying tribute onto, tributaries.
Hey, to this day.
Yeah, to this day. Yeah.
And that made them partly strong and partly weak. You know, divide your forces. That's why this is iron and clay, because clay is weaker than iron.
That's right. But you had squabbles between them, each other, these different within these Punic wars.
I know when you bond to the iron, like it would break off easy, right?
That's right.
Because they spread themselves too thin, man.
Yep.
Right? Like today, it's no different what happened then than it is today. They spread their army too thin. You know, they sent out men, and it came to a point where the soldiers weren't even getting a dinero. They were getting paid in salt.
So this is Revelation 17 and 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Scarlet, man, red, which is that color of sin. Scarlet, that beast was red because of all the sins and atrocities it caused. Right?
First time in my life that I didn't have it.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
also. And woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls,
That's right.
having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Fine. Now, when you go to, actually, can you, now the 7 heads, you got the 7 heads and 10 horns, or 10 heads, 7 horns. That 7 horns, you're talking about Rome, the Greeks.
It's right here.
Is it right there? Yeah. Okay, Connor, you know you had it like that. Beautiful. Okay. So you got the Romans, you got Germanic